Hello, Year 5, and welcome to our second lesson for geography. Right, let's get started with our knowing mores and remembering more. What is the Amazon rainforest like? So, at this point, we've got our 4 questions for our knowing more and remembering more. What I'd like you to do is go through the questions, either using a piece of pen and paper and write your answers down. I'm going to pause the video shortly, which will give you enough opportunity for you to double check that your answers are correct. The first question is, number 1, Brazil is located in western part of South America. Is that true or false? Question number 2, which of the cities below are located in Brazil? Is it Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Quito, or Buenos Aires? Question number 3, what was the name given to the illegal settlements of poorly built houses on the edges of cities in Brazil? And our last question, question number 4, is what is the name of the large tropical rainforest in Brazil? I'd like you to pause this video now, and then after you can check if your answers were correct. Let's check how you did on your knowing more and remembering more stickers. So, if you wrote for question number 1 that the answer was false, you were right. Brazil is located in the eastern part of South America. Which of the cities for number 2 are located in Brazil? It is Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo were correct. For question number 3, the name that is given to illegal settlements of poorly built houses on the edge of cities is favelas. For question number 4, the largest tropical rainforest in Brazil is the Amazon. Well done if you've got all of those correct. So today, in order for us to be successful, we need to understand and know the physical features of a rainforest biome. I understand the climate conditions of a rainforest, and I can explain how the physical features of a tropical rainforest link to their climate. And thinking about our key words and our key vocabulary straight from our knowledge organizer. We can see here that our key vocabulary is going to be located there for our tropical forests, and thinking about how that is going to relate to our work today. If you're unsure of any of the learning that we are doing, please remember to come back and check the knowledge organizer to get the information. So the vocabulary, the words that you already know is biome, species, vegetation, weather, climate, and precipitation. And the key words that we're going to meet in this lesson are biodiversity, flora, which are plants, fauna, which are wildlife, and climate. So where is the Amazon forest in Brazil? So here you can see this map, which has been zoomed in to the South American continent. And we can see that just here in this large area shows a huge green land. This part of South America where Brazil is located is on the eastern part because it is east of South America. Now there are 2 kinds of rainforests. There are tropical and temperate. Most of the northern Brazil is covered by a tropical rainforest. So remember, the northern Brazil is going to be the area at the top of the map. The majority of the forest is contained within Brazil, with 60% of the rainforest, followed by Peru with 13%, Colombia with 10%, and minor amounts also located in Bolivia, Ecuador, French Guiana, Guyana, Suriname, and Venezuela. So where is the Amazon rainforest in Brazil? So if you look here at the map on the right-hand side of the screen, there are 2 kinds of rainforests that we've already discussed, the tropical and the temperate. Most of the northern Brazil is covered by a tropical rainforest. So we can see here at the top of the map with the white outline right at the top is the northern part. The majority of the rainforest is covered within Brazil. So all of the area within the blue point locates the tropical rainforest within Brazil. Now there is a short video that we are going to watch. So I'm just going to pause the video there, thinking about some of the things that we have observed in the last 3 minutes of watching this clip. So we have seen that there are two types of forests. I want you to pause this video. Can you remind me, what were the two types of rainforests? Excellent. You should have been able to gauge that there are temperate and tropical rainforests. And temperate and tropical rainforests grow all over the world. There is one place in the world that they do not grow. On which continent can you recall where tropical or temperate rainforests do not grow? Pause this video and have a think if you can remember where that is. Great work. So well done if you were able to say Antarctica. Antarctica is the only continent-wide temperate and tropical rainforests do not grow. Why do you think that they aren't able to grow in Antarctica? Of course, it's too cold. The climate in Antarctica does not provide the correct biodiversity for the plants and the animals to thrive. So therefore, temperate and tropical rainforests exist elsewhere in the world where the climate and the temperature will produce a better biodiversity for those particular environments. So unfortunately, rainforests are at risk of declining and completely disappear within the next century. This is for many different reasons. So we're going to move on and think about why that may be. So here we have a table. And we had some statistics that were provided in the video. So statistics are data and information that people have gathered. And these statistics are about rainforests and the Amazon. And it has been clear that some of the statistics match some of the items on the right. So we can see some have already been matched up. During the beginning, they were able to inform us that only 6% of the Earth's surface is covered by rainforests. However, 50% of the world's plant and animal species can be found in the rainforests. 25% of the world's medicine derives from plants found in the rainforests, and there are over 200 tree species which can be found in 1 hectare of a rainforest. That's a lot of different trees in a small area. 200 to 250 centimeters of rain can fall in a rainforest over the year. And 20% of the Earth's oxygen is produced by rainforest biomes. So thinking about all these amazing data and the statistics of what the rainforest produces, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think about, why is the rainforest important to the world? And think about and use some of the statistics to provide evidence in your answer. So pause the video and think about why the rainforest is an important element in the world. Excellent. You've managed to see that how the oxygen, if 20% of the Earth's oxygen is produced by the trees in the rainforest, it's obviously very beneficial to the Earth. It's beneficial to the people living in the Earth. So the rainforest produces a huge amount of resources for us. It's also home for 50% of the world's plants and animals and species, which means that it provides them a place for their refuge in their natural habitat. So what are rainforest habitats? Well, rainforests are a kind of forest habitat, and they are found in warm places and are full of many trees and leafy plants. It's called rainforest because it also gets a lot of rain every year, and sometimes over 200 to maybe 250 centimeters of rainfall, and this helps all the plants in the rainforests grow. Because rainforests are warm, wet, and dense, they are full of life. So millions of different kinds of plants and animals live there, and some haven't even been discovered yet. It's important to protect rainforest habitats for all the creatures who live there, and for humans too. Remember, the rainforest produces 20% of the oxygen that all of us in the world need to breathe. Did you know 1/4 of our medicine comes from the rainforest plants, and it is thought there are many more potential medicines that could come from the rainforest plants that have yet to be identified. 80% of the plants in the rainforest are unique to the rainforest. That means that those plants can only grow in those particular climate and biodiversity environments. So we can see here in our map on the top right hand of the corner of the places where there are tropical and wet rainforests. And thinking about if we can relate this to our longitude and latitude topic that we looked at in Autumn 1 and Autumn 2, where are most of the tropical wet forests located? So I want you to think about that. Look at where they are. We can see in South America here on the furthest left. In the middle, we've got Central Africa. And then on the right, we've predominantly got Asia. But if we look across, they are generally located around the same region. Why do you think that is? I want you to pause the video and think about that. Great work. So you should have been able to identify and recall that the tropical wet forests of the world generally sit just above or below the equator. And the equator is the line of latitude that runs straight in the middle of the Earth and also produce a very warm climate for the environments around it. So we can see that these tropical wet forests around the world are either just above or just below the equator line. So here it says, what does a tropical rainforest look like? So what you're going to do is you are going to provide some notes of the physical feature that you can see in the jungle video. I will also be sharing some photos online for you to have a look at so you can see what physical features you can see in the Amazon jungle. So remember, we're looking out for the physical things that we can see. What does a tropical rainforest look like? So what can you see in this video? What does it look like? What type of vegetation does the trees have? What type of animals and plants can you see? How would you describe them? Think about the landscape. Think about the natural elements that you can see. How does a tropical rainforest look like from above and from below? Think about why it might be important and why it might house so many different species of plants. So I'm going to pause the video here. Hopefully you'd have been able to identify the different features that make the rainforest and what they look like. Here are some images to also support what the physical rainforest looks like. We can see here on the top left corner, we can see from above an aerial photograph of the Amazon forest. What can you see? In the middle here, we have a species that is home to the animal, to the Amazon forest, what can you see? What's the same and what's different about these pictures? So when we are talking about biodiversity, we are referring to the variety of life, the variety of species. It is seen in the number of species in that ecosystem or on the entire Earth. In these pictures, there are a variety of different biodiversity, a range of species that live in the Amazon forest. So, a recap. The weather or climate. In Key Stage 1, you looked at weather and climate. Now, what are the differences between the three climates? So you've got the top photo that looks red and orange, and it's a satellite view of the world. In the middle, you've got a temperate climate, and at the bottom, you've got an Arctic climate. What are the differences between the two? Excellent. So the weather refers to day-to-day conditions of the atmosphere, and it can include rain, sun, or snow, whereas the climate is a long-term condition of a large area, and it usually is taken over a period of 30 years. So a climate can include a polar, a temperate, or a Mediterranean. So what can we learn about the climate graph of the Amazon jungle? So we can see here there is more statistics and data, and this measures the amount of rainfall. And we know it measures the amount of rainfall because on the left-hand side, it tells us the rainfall going up in millimeters. On the right-hand side, it measures the temperatures in Celsius. And at the bottom, it gives us the months of the year. So we know that this specific chart, our bar chart and the line chart, measures both the rainfall and the temperature, and it tells us what the rainfall and the temperature was in each month. For our actual activity today, what I would like you to do on a piece of paper is describe the Amazon's climate graph. The temperature is shown by the orange line on the graph, and the rainfall is shown by the blue bars. At which point in the year is the temperature the highest? When is it the lowest? And at which points is it in the year where the rainfall is the highest and the lowest? I want you to now pause this video and answer those three questions. So remember, question number 1, at which point in the year is the temperature the highest? Question number 2, when is it the lowest? And question number 3, at which points in the year is the rainfall the highest and the lowest? Please pause the video now. Excellent, well done if you were able to identify that in October, the highest average temperature in the Amazon was 27.7 degrees Celsius. And also in February had the lowest temperature in the Amazon, which was at 26 degrees Celsius. The highest average rainfall in the Amazon is approximately 310 millimeters in April, and the lowest average rainfall in the Amazon is 50 millimeters in August. So well done for observing the data accurately and gathering some information. Thank you so much for joining me in our lesson on what is it like in the Amazon forest. Next week, we're going to be continuing our learning. Enjoy. Thank you.